This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, April 22nd, but the year was 1526. The first slave revolt in the American colonies occurs in South Carolina. It was on this day, the last act endorsed by Abraham Lincoln before his assassination, 1864. The U.S. mints a 2-cent coin, the first appearance of In God We Trust. It was April 22nd, 1915, the first military use by Germany of poison gas during World War I. April 22nd, 1915, the New York Yankees for the first time don pinstripes on their uniform. It was on this day, April 22nd, 1945, the Battle of Berlin is lost. Adolf Hitler flies into a rage, denounces his own German army, and concedes that World War II is lost. It was on this day, April 22nd, 1964, the World's Fair at Flushing Meadows, New York, opens. It was on this day, April 22nd, 2000, in a pre-dawn raid, federal agents seized 6-year-old Elian Gonzalez from his home in Miami, Florida, and returns him to Cuba. But that was April 22nd in the past. Today, April 22nd, 2020, residents in Georgia will be allowed on Friday to return to the gym and get haircuts, pedicures, massages, tattoos. And next Monday, they can dine again in restaurants and go to the movies. In Tennessee, Governor Bill Lee said the vast majority of businesses in 89 counties will be allowed to be reopened on May 1st. Businesses in Ohio are expected to reopen May 1st. South Carolina, Monday, department stores and other retail businesses previously closed and deemed non-essential will be allowed to reopen. Tuesday of next week in South Carolina, beaches will be reopened as well. In London, a new survey of some 2,000 seniors over the age of 65 found that some 2.6 million have had no human contact on a daily basis. This would be a good time for you to pick up the phone and call a relative, a friend, a neighbor, and just say hello. How are you doing? It was last week, India's Prime Minister issued a 21-day lockdown of 1.3 billion people. The order stranded millions of workers who were forced to walk hundreds of miles to their home villages because public transportation was also shut down. Half of the population in India lives below the poverty line. How will we return to normal? How do you open schools and classrooms? Denmark is leading the way. Their opening of their country starts with students aged under 12. Schoolyards have been split into sections with tape, and classes are smaller so that desks can be placed 6 feet apart. Children arrive, take breaks at staggered intervals, wash their hands on arrival, and every 2 hours, and remain outside as much as possible. All surfaces, including sinks, toilet seats, door handles, are disinfected twice daily. The Czech Republic has also begun a phased return, starting with final year students at college and universities, which is likely to be followed by primary school children, high school students. Chile will begin issuing digital immunity cards. The COVID cards will be issued to people who have tested positive for the virus and who have shown signs of recovery following a 14-day quarantine. The United Kingdom is approving the use of an immunity certificate or passport to allow those who have antibodies to get as much as possible back to normal life. Turkey has enforced the weekend-only lockdowns, 48-hour curfews affecting 3/4 of the population. During the week, the stay-at-home order only applies to those over the age of 65 or under the age of 20. The Navajo Nation in Arizona has also enacted strict weekend lockdowns, during which members of the tribe cannot leave their homes. In Libya, members of the public are only permitted to walk between the hours of 7 a.m. and 12 p.m., and stores are only open during those hours. In Peru, they're adopting a gender-based measure. On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, only men can go outside. On Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, only women are allowed. They believe adopting this gender-based measure makes it very simple to visually detect who should and shouldn't be on the streets. Panama has been doing the same since April 1. Some cities in Colombia, including Bogota, are also only allowing men and women to leave their homes on certain days. In Sweden, those aged 70 and over have been asked to stay at home, while Italy has authorized the use of drones to monitor the movement of citizens. Commercial drone company Dragonfly this month partnered with Australia's Department of Defense to deploy what they call pandemic drones that have the ability to monitor temperature, heart, and respiratory rates, as well as detect people sneezing and coughing in crowds in the public. All along, China and Kuwait have used talking drones to order people to return home. A special happy 94th birthday to Queen Elizabeth of England, the longest reigning monarch in British history. This is the day the Lord has made. Let's rejoice and be glad in it. This is Ken Smith reminding you it happened today, April 22nd, 2020.